Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight we build another PC. Welcome back to the Build Show. I am your host over here at the Empower Gaming Studio. 100 square feet. And tonight we're not just building any PC. Tonight we are building Jordan's PC. The long-awaited build for Jordan. He had actually placed this order a little while ago, and it was a little interesting because we had to wait for a firm to deliver payment, and they took forever to deliver that. And I don't know what the deal was, but that was a rough start because that means we didn't order all the parts until after a firm delivered the payment to us. So I ordered half the parts because it was a mixed payment. And then what else was it? The case. The case ended up being really difficult to track down and get it here in a timely fashion. So took forever for the case to get here. Finally got here. I think that's what we were waiting on. I don't know, I get my builds mixed up now. But I do know the Sky 2 was very difficult to get, and we got it. So it is a, if you're not familiar with the Montech Sky 2, it is a case that I actually built in a lot in 2024. Since then, people have been more leaning towards the dual chamber design. So those become more popular, like the King 95, for example. Those have been more popular lately. So we haven't done a Sky 2 in a while. It was kind of nice to go back and I still love the case. It's a very nice case for the price. It's I'd say, a pretty good quality case. So without further ado, let's go through the loadout and get started on this thing, because it is Friday night. The last thing you want to do is sit here and listen to me ramble all Friday night when you could be out there gaming. Looks like our white is meshing there. What's up, Tony? Welcome back to the Build Show, both over there on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you. Steve Anderson, welcome back to the Build Show. The 7900 XT is still going strong. Very nice. Brendo, yo, that's my brother's PC. Nice. We finally made it. We finally got here. Only took a little extra time. But we're here. Happy Friday, yes. Oh, I love your channel. Thank you. Mike over on Twitch, thank you for the shout out over there. All right, so we're going to go through the parts list and then we're going to get started on the build. We do want to get you guys out of this build stream and on to gaming as quickly as possible since it is Friday night. That's what I want to do. I want to catch some games maybe and maybe eat a slice of pizza and I don't know, maybe play some I don't know yet. I haven't decided what I want to play. There's a lot of different options out there, but I'm sure the boys will be on later on the if you haven't played Bar and you see it in the channel, the Discord channel, we do play that a lot. Yo, that's my friend's brother's PC. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I gave him a couple days heads up that we were going to be building tonight. We did get started a little bit later, so I apologize. I was trying to target 8 o'clock, but I had to wrap up one PC after wrapping up a service call. And here we are. A little bit late, per usual. I think y'all are used to that by now. Mikey, I've been watching your videos at work. I've been working night for a while. Nice. Well, nice of you to stop in and chat. Zen 3. Yes, this is a AIM-4 platform. The 7800 XT is what we ended up with on this build. So we are doing the best we can with the Ramageddon prices. And the SSD prices are absolutely outrageous. So to give you an idea of RAM prices and SSD prices for a DDR4 rig, this 32 gig kit of DDR4 RAM from KingBank, which is actually a very reputable brand. If you're not familiar with it, I build with it a lot, and it works well. I've never had a bad stick from them yet. Crossing my fingers. Now that I said that, I should not have said that. And then this is a Team Group MP44Q. The RAM is 3200 CL16, so it's a pretty decent kit, modest kit for performance, and for DDR4. And it's a, I think it came out to like $240, $250 when we ordered it. And then the SSD was also another $250-ish right now. So we've got about $500-ish in just the RAM and the SSD. Just to give you an idea, here in the United States, I don't know if you're all from the United States here watching, but here in the US, $500 US for just your RAM and your SSD, which is a third of this build cost. When it comes out, about a third of the build cost, which would include my build fee as well. So this is outrageous. This build should not cost this much, but unfortunately that is where we're at. So originally on the website, also I want to call this out before we go through the parts list. This was supposed to be a 5700X processor, but because those are nearly impossible to get right now, we did go with the Ryzen 7 5800 XT instead. We try to always either match or go up if we can't get a part. And then same thing with the, originally this was supposed to be a 7700 XT, and because the 7700 XT, they don't really make those anymore. Those are really hard to get. It's just old data, unfortunately, on my website, so we went over to the 9060 XT, which would have been equivalent value for the card. And this is the 8 gig version, right? Yes. So it's the best I could do with the prices right now. So those were a little bit of changes that we had to make to the build in order to make it work. But the 9060 XT 8 gigabyte is broke. Yes, I know. That's where we are, man. It's where we are. Damn it. I hate ads. LOL jumped over to YouTube. There you go, Mike. Killa, welcome back to the build show. So far, my Windows is working, but I'm going to try to cache OS with my NVIDIA card dual boot. Okay, there you go. Yeah, a lot of people have been recommending like a Linux Windows dual boot. I've been seeing that a lot, especially if you caught my video warning you about the Windows update that is screwing up gaming PCs right now. Definitely recommend, if you haven't watched that, go grab a short over on the YouTube channel. Take a look at that. I also try to warn people on the Discord channel that update is causing a lot of havoc. So avoid that update if you can. Just don't install it. It is a preview update. I can't remember the exact KB number off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look, but avoid it and go look at the short. I just talk about it briefly for 1.5 minutes. I lost the hat tonight because I was on site teaching Microsoft Teams today, so I am in a button-down shirt. By the way, Jordan says thank you, and we are all watching. Awesome. Well, welcome to the build show, Jordan. And this one is for you. At least the 9060 XT has FSR4, yes. So that is one of the main reasons why I was pushing towards a newer card, was because of the FSR4 that the newer cards offer. Tom says 7800 XT question mark. I don't know what you mean by that, Tom. But welcome back to the build show, Tom. Anthony, welcome back to the build show. Finally catching you live, yes, on a Friday night. Tony, I got the case PC swap done. I put a picture on the Discord. I haven't changed cards yet. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll check it out after the stream, Tony. Also over on Twitch, Tony says, is that the update I was supposed to fix the other updates? I don't know if it was supposed to fix the other updates. I just know that particular update that I talked about in that YouTube short, avoid it. I am not deploying it on any new computers, and I'm advising you not to install it. It has created a lot of problems. After having a look at the spec, I have to agree, it is a nice choice. Yes. Yet the build is for the price. I know it's not listed there, but we're around $1,500 in total for the price. And just remember, $500 is your RAM and your SSD, which is insane right now. So that's what really hurts the, I guess, the budget of this type of build. And then any build going forward right now, it's your RAM and your SSD just kills the budget. So, all right, so let's get started with the loadout, the build out tonight. So again, was supposed to be the Ryzen 7 5700X, but we have the 5800 XT. This is AM4. I think somebody already called it out in the chat, Zen 3 processor, but it is a solid choice if you're on AM4 and you're looking for an 8-core processor. These are still very available, so I do recommend those. Next, we'll be cooling the processor with a Thermalright Grand Vision 360mm AIO. This is all in white. It does feature a screen built into it, so you'll be able to control the screen from the Thermalright software that we'll have pre-installed for you. And then all of that's going on a B550 Eagle Wi-Fi 6. This is one of the only components in the build that will not be white. So it'll have a nice black backdrop in the white case. It'll have a nice accent. The RAM is 32 gigs DDR4 3200 megahertz CL16, which is it is silver, so it'll blend in well with the white. It's kind of like a really light silver color. And then we have a 2 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe SSD, which is the MP44Q by Team Group that we're going to be using tonight. Those are going on the B550 board, and then the graphics card is the AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT, which is the 8 gigabyte graphics card, and that one should be in white. So it says white edition there on the sticker. Hopefully, because that's what I ordered, that's what comes out of that box. It always messes with me when you order an XFX card and it's supposed to be a white card and it shows up in an all black box. It's like, I hope that's actually white. Sagitep 650 watt 80 plus gold power supply. We do have white sleeved cables to offset the black cables that come with this power supply. So we continue to maintain that white theme, and we're going to be building all of this in a Sky 2 by Montech, which is an ATX mid tower, which has a tempered glass front panel and side panel. There is white frosting, I believe, around the glass, which kind of adds a nice touch to it. But it is a more premium style case, kind of like the King series. Before the King series came out, the Sky 2 was one of the, I say it's one that led to the King series from Montech, because it was so successful. And I still love the case. It's just most people want the bigger dual chamber towers now. No such thing as a budget build anymore. Exactly, Anthony. Yes, I agree with you. 58 XT has a great cooler that comes with it. I love the RGB on it. Yes, that is the AMD. Gosh, what is it called? Boy, I haven't talked about that cooler in a long time. Should be right here on the box. It says Wraith thermal solution, but I think there's an actual name for it, because you have the Stealth Wraith and then you have the Prism. This is the Wraith Prism cooler by AMD. Wraith Stealth is the smaller, little teeny tiny version of it. This is the RGB Prism version that comes with the CPU, but we're not going to be using that. We're going to be using the Grand Vision. The Grand Vision from Thermalright. You have to have an echo when you say grand. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the build. I'm going to move some of this out of the way so we can focus on the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, and the SSD, and then we'll get the mounting brackets out of the cooler, put that on. think I just entered the Matrix. We're all just going to pretend that didn't happen because that was 100% my streaming PC CPU. Had a little bit of a brain fart, okay? A little bit of a brain fart. We're just not going to talk about it. Pretend that didn't happen. Probably because I have way too many Google tabs open. Chrome tabs. Probably should have closed those before I started the stream. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you guys didn't see that. We 100% froze a little bit there. Shame on you, Pat. I know, the PC builder's PC's messed up. What? What? Can't handle it? Well, it's mostly because I haven't... I'm supposed to do an upgrade, guys, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. We're just too busy building everybody else's PCs, and I cannot, for the life of me, I cannot break myself or make myself go buy 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM for, what is it now, like almost $1,000? I just can't do it. I can't. It hurts me. Hurts me to do it. So, I have a trick that I will share with you guys when I get to that point of upgrading my streaming PC. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do to save some money. Alright, so here's our Ryzen 7 5800 XT coming out of the box. By the way, guys, that pink build we did last time, last stream, turned out absolutely amazing. With that pink RGB on it. Woo-hoo! I'll have to drop some pictures in the Discord. It turned out real nice. Alright, so we've got our AMD Ryzen 7 5800 XT installed. So next we're going to install our RAM, which is going to go in slots A2 and B2. So I'm going to prep the clips by pushing them out. And we're going to install our 32 gigs of DDR4 King Bank 3200 megahertz CL16. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Please do want to see it. Yes, 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 yes. We will. We will post some pictures. Steve Anderson, of course, rooting for the Seahawks this weekend. Of course you are. I think you and everybody else in the United States is at this point rooting for the Seahawks to absolutely annihilate New England. Next, we are going to install our 2 terabyte NVMe SSD by Team Group, which is the MP44Q. Yeah, you don't have to change that. If you have a 6800, don't even bother changing. I would stay on the 6800. UBH. We appear to be missing a screwdriver. Please hold. Actually, we're missing a couple. Whoops. And then we need a M.dot, which comes in the motherboard packet in a little plastic baggie. This is a little M.2 screw that we're going to use to secure the drive, and then we'll put that heat spreader back on. And then we'll break out the mounting brackets for the cooler. Those mounted. We are making some good progress here. All right, so next, from the Grand Vision from Thermalright, we are gonna break this open and get the hardware out so that we can get the mounting brackets installed. The reason why I do it outside of the case is because it's a lot easier to do outside of the case than inside the case. Why make it more difficult than it has to be? I do gotta say, I gotta show you the box. Pretty cool. So Thermalright does an excellent job on their more premium coolers with the packaging. This is all really firm foam. But you could tell on their more premium coolers, they do a much better job with the packaging versus, you know, the standard stuff. So, I'm actually just going to break this out of the packaging anyway. May as well. But it's definitely a more premium touch. So this is the box that we needed, which is the Thermalright hardware or accessories package, as they call it, which will have all of our hardware for this cooler. Yeah, if you run into a 9070 XT, that would be a nice upgrade for you. Definitely would advise against selling until you run into that. But unfortunately, GPU prices are in the process of going up, and it does not look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. So as NVIDIA would say, the more you buy now, that's the one key word that they left out, the more you save. I mean, to be honest, the entrepreneur in me says go buy all the 5070 Ti's that I can. Hold on to them for about 6 months and then sell them for almost double the price. Because that's probably where we're going to be soon. And of course, knowing me, I won't do that. I would buy them and use them for builds. And not make the extra money. Just got to make sure those were all good. Okay, so with that being done, those are our mounting brackets for our cooler that are installed. So our 32 gigs of DDR4, our 5800 XT, and our 2 terabyte M.2, along with our mounting brackets, are all installed. But now we can break out the case and get this board installed. Let's do that. I always forget how weird they put the styrofoam on the front and the back versus the top and the bottom. So typically, the loose box that's in there is not supposed to be loose. That is the bottom fan that we'll be using. So usually this is zip tied down, but it looks like the zip tie gave out. This is a bottom fan that we'll be installing for more intake. But we have two 120 millimeter reversed blades here as intake, and then we have a 120 on the rear for exhaust, and then we'll be installing a 120 down here for intake. And then the cooler will mount. Oh, nice. Why don't you guys say something? It's all blurry. The cooler will mount over here on the top of the case, the radiator. Cool. That opened up. And break off the back panel. Then we have all of our cables there. We'll just I honestly cannot remember if this front panel comes off or not. I don't think it does. Not easy anyway. I thought it did. Maybe with those two screws. Whatever. We don't need to remove it. I'm just curious, more curious than anything. All right. Couldn't remember. Yes, thank you. I know it was blurry, sorry. Sometimes when we go from all black to all white, the camera goes into a little bit of a freak out session and is like, ah! Like I was mentioning earlier, this is one of the only components in the system that will be black, which is the motherboard. Outside of that, everything else will be a silver or a white blend with the theme. Once we get everything plugged in, it'll kind of drown out the black background there. Bear with me. That is a really nice white. I don't think I could get it any whiter. Right? That was a little off track. We had to fix that. Your motherboard isn't perfectly lined up. It's not usually the end of the world, but if it has a little lip on the standoff, that means it's digging into the board, and when you tighten down the screw, it'll be pushing on the board, and as the board heats up and cools down, you can actually damage it. So it's always a good idea if your standoffs have lips, like these ones do. And the reason why it's if it has lips, make sure you fix it and line it up perfectly. If not, you could damage the board over time. Not instantly, but maybe over time. Next, you have what else? Oh, the reason why there's lips on standoffs is so that you could actually install the board while it's standing up. It kind of holds it in place while you're putting the screws in. Hey, Dad, answer the phone, please. Anybody else seeing this in the Twitch chat? Apparently, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. All right, then I just took the time to go back and verify I've actually finished screwing those down because I was so distracted. Because if I ship it a little loose, it would be kind of weird. Or if it gets picked up a little loose, it'd be kind of weird. She says, I have to answer. Is it an emergency? That's usually the first question. All right. Hello. You have got to be kidding me. The car battery died. Did we leave something plugged in? Did we leave something plugged in? Hmm. What does it sound like? Hmm. That's not battery. That's something else. Okay. Well, what I want you to do is go into the car with the keys, wiggle the steering wheel while you're putting the keys in. While you're putting the keys. I mean, am I able to finish the build? Oh, well, that's probably the problem. Does that close? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's 0 power whatsoever when you turn. Nice. Nice. Okay. Well. Like there's no movement, no sound, no nothing. Alrighty. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that sucks. I mean, I don't even know. So, I will, clear off the terrain and head over. I've probably got a good hour left. So, I'll have to reschedule. It doesn't sound like it. It's okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. I will, head over. Love you too. Well, unfortunately, my wife is stranded with all the girls. Our Suburban decided just to not start. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I have to go get them. Never had this happen before. So I do apologize. I am going to have to cut it short tonight, unfinished, but I will bring the stream back up probably tomorrow and finish this build. So I do appreciate everybody's patience while the emergency is definitely calling. Even my daughter jumped into the Twitch chat to get my attention. Yes, real life first. So I do have to go take care of the girls and Mrs. Empower, the most important, of course, because she's the one that keeps it going round. But I will come back to this build tomorrow. I'm literally going to keep everything as it is right now, and we'll fire this back up probably tomorrow. I do have lots of fun ahead of myself because, one, I have to clear off because it's winter here, and I have a pile of snow on the other vehicle that we have here because we haven't been driving it. So let's, fingers crossed that one actually starts because it hasn't been started in over a month. I got to clear the snow off of that, de-ice it. It has no gas, and it also has a leaky tire, so I got to put air in that tire. And that is just to go from here to there to go find out what's wrong with that car. And I thought we had really reliable vehicles. I was just bragging about it like a couple months ago. Go be a dad. Yes, thank you guys for understanding. I do apologize for cutting this short and not finishing this build tonight. This is actually the first time, I think, in Empower's history that I have not finished a build because of something else other than a bad component. We do not. We actually fired AAA because they suck. So we ended up going with, I think we have State Farm right now. Oysterhead, no worries, man. Family comes first. So thank you. Yep, I just feel bad for Jordan because I'm cutting his build right in the middle of it. But we will come back live tomorrow, and I will finish the build for him. I'll try to do this earlier in the day for him, so that way I still have a shot of completing the build for him, so he can pick it up and at least enjoy it over the weekend, on Sunday at least. So, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. More what? Yes, he's got RAM. RAM! But this is probably the most interesting thing that's happened to me live on stream so far. Is being called, hey, from Mrs. Empower. Hey, I'm stranded. Yeah, typically they're usually home, so it's never really a concern when I'm streaming. All right. With that being said, guys, I do apologize. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll finish this build. Have a good night. Hopefully we figure out what's going on with the Suburban. Because right now it's deader than a doornail. No nothing. Yes, join the Discord. Feel free to jump there and grab the update when I go live tomorrow. I will post when I go live tomorrow in the Discord, as well as you'll get notifications if you're following on the channels. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Have a good Friday. Got you guys to gaming a lot faster than you thought, didn't I? Have a good night, guys.